Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Just a reminder, if you could please keep yourself muted when it's not your turn to ask a question, that would be greatly appreciated. Next, I'm just going to quickly slate that this is for roundtable number 1. And Salvador, you can go ahead and start us off. Thanks.
Right. Thanks, Babs, Jess, for doing this. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you also.
And you know, you play characters that were actually in the original series, but not very much was shown of them. I was wondering what kind of preparation did you do for embodying these characters? Did you watch the original shows? What was your approach? What is old and what is new about your characters?
Mm-hmm. Babsy, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, for me, unfortunately, Booker Bradshaw as Dr. Mbenga was just in 2 episodes of the original, you know. So I did watch them, but really I took the decision to craft, you know, a new life, a new journey for him. So that is simply a work in progress right now. But it is exciting and it is an honor to build on what he left back then.
And for myself, I watched all of Major's performance in the original series, and I kind of studied up on what her position was, you know, in understanding culturally, like where she existed in the team and how that all worked. I also read a bunch of nursing memoirs, and you know, more so with Major's performance, kind of just distilling that, because there was a lot of room to grow with her, just distilling the essence as a launch point. You know, just being like, she's very sarcastic. She is a straight shooter, and she has a lot of humor about the way she interacts with people, and taking that essence, and then in collaboration with Akiva and Henry, and their writing's been so wonderful as a tool of discovery about who she is. In collaboration with them in the beginning, just really fleshing out like who is the younger woman that exists underneath that, and also who is she in 2021? Like, there's so much more complexity to be found, and relevance to the world today, and the experience of being a young woman. And it was great. They trusted me a lot, and they gave me some direction as well, and they had some ideas about who she is and what's going on for her internally, and but also gave me license to explore. So yeah, it's been such a pleasure to explore with her and continue to discover who she is and how she relates to the people around her. And yeah, it's been an honor to be only the second actor ever to bring this character to life as well. Like, huge honor. So I feel like I've kind of got the best of both worlds, you know.
Thanks so much.
Kit.
Hi, Kit Stone, the Black Cape. What new vocabulary or knowledge did you guys have to learn stepping into this new sci-fi world, or were you always a pro at Vulcan?
You know, well, they make it quite easy for us, you know, in preparation, and, you know, the material we get and how we spell things and say things. And, you know, there's such a massive support team behind the camera, right? And creatively and in every way. So, you know, as long as we do our work, it's been quite lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Robert.
Thank you. I wanted to talk about the diversity in the cast. When I always think about Star Trek, it's like, you know, it's outer world, it's aliens, it's all different type of things. How do you feel about the diversity in the cast and how that's portrayed on the show?
I think, you know, diversity has been such a pillar of what Star Trek what Star Trek has been since its beginning. And that is such a special part of what it is. And I think that they've been really intentional in the way that they have continued that through and continued to make that relevant. You know, like diversity today might mean something different to what diversity was understood to be back when it was first conceived. Just from my experience, I find it really exciting that 5 of the main cast are female. To me, I was like, that is awesome. And the fact that that's not made like a tokenistic plot point, that's just, it just is. And we're in positions of power. And to me, that has been really refreshing and awesome.
Stephanie?
Hi, thank you. So Babs, one of the things I've always loved about Star Trek is how it uses its futuristic sci-fi setting to address current day issues. And I'm wondering, is that something that we'll see the show and even your character get to do in Strange New Worlds?
I believe I can confidently say yes, without giving any plot points away. But I think the showrunners, Akiva and Henry, are very much in keeping with the legacy of Star Trek in that way, of speaking to things that are happening in the now. And we will absolutely touch on quite a few things. And of course, one has to have their eyes open to see it. But it's there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely doing that. Yes.
Kurt? You're muted, Kurt.
I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. My question is directed at you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel any pressure taking over this role from the First Lady of Star Trek?
Look, I think in the beginning, when it first came into my life, it was a little daunting. You know, it's a big responsibility. But the people that make Star Trek and the people that watch Star Trek are all so supportive. It's such a beautiful community, and they just want you to succeed. And it's been such a warm reception. I felt nothing but supported. And I think more than anything, it's been such an honor to be trusted with that. To be only the second person to bring this character to life is like a huge honor and a really exciting creative challenge.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gustavo?
So my question is to Babs, because Babs, I'm Brazilian, and a little bird told me that you are a third-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Did you learn some fighting skills to Mbenga? Can we expect him to, show some of these skills?
Cara, Gustavo, não posso falar nada.
Great.
I can't say anything. I just told Gustavo. That's a no comment. But of course, that has been a big part of my life. Yeah, as of now, that's no comment. Não posso.
That's okay. Hear you speaking Portuguese is already awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Eric?
Thank you. This is for both of you. How did it feel to join such an iconic franchise?
Amazing. I think I think Star Trek, the thing that strikes me about Star Trek is that from its beginnings, it's had such a vast cultural impact. And it's so present. Like references to Star Trek are everywhere. It's in everything. And I think that they've been really intentional about how they exert that power. And to be able to contribute to that as an artist is like, there's nothing else you can ask for than to be able to lend your voice and your heart to spreading a positive message and having an impact that's really aiming for better for people and for the world.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with all of what Jess has said. I think it's such an important part of Star Trek's legacy, and it's a legacy that it embraces, and that the creative team behind these series also embrace, because of course, without that, it simply would not be Star Trek. And so it's a mission that it's stayed on through all the different series. And it's one that we are extremely honored to be a part of. And yeah, we're so blessed to be able to be picked to help tell these stories that could help bring, something a little lighter to this world.
Thank you.
Raphael?
Hi, Jess and Babs. It's a question for you too. Your characters are always together and have a totally different personalities. Dr. Mibenga is very serious, and Chris is more loose and funny. And how did that relationship between you worked on the set? And does you personally match your characters or not?
I think, obviously there's essences of similar, like Babs and I have developed a friendship outside of set, and it's been really fascinating and wonderful to gently go into set and see what happens when our characters interact, and the nuances and the differences between those things, because I do think they're different. I think that our relationships on set is different to the one that we have outside of the show. And yeah, it's been really beautiful to, like, through the writing that we've been given and through our own choices, to kind of see the lovely alchemy of like how that plays out, and it continues to develop and deepen. And we're given a lot of opportunity to do that. As you said, we spend a lot of time together, and we really care. I think our characters really, really deeply care about each other, and we've got each other's back in a way that's almost familial, I think. Yeah, it's been such a lovely part of the discovery.
I would agree. Absolutely. I would agree. And it's really, really fun to play with these characters and to engage with Chapel, with Jess as Chapel, and the choices we both make individually for the characters, and then putting them together, and and just the understanding that they have with each other, and the kind of space they give each other within sick bay and within the work. It's been a beautiful experience so far.
Ashley?
Hi guys. I wanted to ask, do you all find it more difficult to play characters with a smaller backstory, or is it more like playing a whole new character? Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
For me, it's felt like kind of the best of both worlds, like for me, I think it's an exciting creative challenge to have someone who's existed before and be like, what parts of this do I want to use as the bones of mine? Like, that's really interesting to me, to be like, what does this mean? And what happens if I germinate this a little more and bring it into the present day? But also having the freedom to explore and make new decisions is an amazing gift.
Yeah. And for me, it's, for me, the work is always a challenge, and of course, so though I have, I had less to go on, but it's still work. But there's a beauty to it that I get to create something, you know, but of course, then that's something is, I will have to answer for it if that something does not stand up to par, you know? So it's like, you want to be the boss? All right. You know, now, you know, so, but yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been a real joy facing up to the challenge, and we just really hope the fans can take to it, you know, and appreciate it.
I like what I've seen so far.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all so much for joining us. That's all the time we have for this roundtable today. And if you would all look in your email, you'll see your next link and you can head straight there. Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Obrigado,
Thank you.
Brasil.
Thank you.
Obrigado, Brasil.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Tchau, tchau. Valeu.
Tchau.
Tchau.
Valeu.
JPI, we can cut.